Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Sammer, along with my co-host Stank and Poppy Latte, and you're watching The Loose Cannons, presented by Red Cat Plumbing and Air, a Tampa-based company who takes pride in their reputation for timely service, professional results, and exceeding your expectations. They truly define hashtag Tampa Proud. Before we jump into today's episode, the number to call and get your take in, whether you agree or disagree with either of us, shown on the screen is 312-626-6799. And when prompted, enter the code 9955204740, and you'll be in our digital waiting room. If you're new to the show, don't forget the call-in format. State your name, how you like your wings, dry or wet, and if you're dipping them in blue cheese or a bunch of shit. And then give us your take or your question. Try to limit to 90 seconds if you can, so we can get as many callers in as possible. We are joined tonight by the awesome Jake Arians. What's up, bro?
How are you, boys? Been a while.
Been too fucking long, bro.
Too long.
Too damn long.
You've been suntanning out on the beach in Acapulco or something, Jake.
Beach.
Clearwater. The last
Steakhouse.
beach I
The
went
forever
to.
home, bro. The forever home. What you talking about, beach?
That's right.
Shit.
Arizona, you just walk outside and bake, so you don't have to go tan.
Okay, I'm starting the fireworks early. Why is 47 one of the options as the code to call in? Since you consider 47 John Lynch not a Hall of Famer, Sammer, explain yourself with that horrible take that John Lynch is not a Hall of Famer.
I'm gonna back up Sammer to start the show.
Whoa.
He's a Hall of Famer, but he's not as worthy as Rondé Barber, who's not.
Oh, I agree with
It
that.
ain't even
I agree with that.
We all agree with
I
that.
agree with that. We all agree with that.
We all agree.
I think Rondé should have gotten in ahead of Lynch, but
Way
Lynch
ahead.
is not. He's not a Hall of Famer like Sammer's saying. Sammer's saying he's not a Hall of Famer. Period.
I think he's borderline, man.
Thank you.
I love him. He's done a great job as a GM. He's a good dude, but borderline at best. And he's already in. Rondé redefined a position. It's a damn travesty what's going on with Rondé Barber not being in.
Look at that, guys.
I 100% agree with that.
But last
Oh,
time
now you agree with
I'm
it?
just letting you know.
No, I agree
Rondé
that
Barber.
Rondé deserved
Yeah.
to be in over Lynch.
But I've been saying the whole time, John Lynch is borderline, and he's in over other safeties who are better than he is.
Yeah, go back. I never disagreed with you, by the way, ever.
Steve Atwater wasn't the
Any of my
best
takes.
safety on the Denver Broncos. He knocked out Christian Okoye on Monday Night Football, and the world went crazy and thought he was a Hall of Famer. He's a really good player, but he's fringe at best, and he's been in for a long time. Lynch is a lot like that.
Leroy Butler, I feel like, is a better safety, and I think he just got in, or may not even be in yet. Then the other guys that are, that played in the same era as Lynch, they just had bigger splash plays. They affected games in a much more unique fashion than he did. That's all I ever said. I didn't see John Lynch doing the stuff that we saw Polamalu doing, or Dawkins, or
No. Ed Reed.
what's his name?
Ed Reed.
Ed
Ed
Reed.
Reed.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
I'm a Hurricane fan, so yeah, I get the Ed Reed thing. I got you.
He
Anyway,
was a smart player, cerebral guy.
Sean
Obviously.
Taylor before Sean Taylor passed away.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Sean Taylor. Yeah,
Lynch wasn't doing any of that stuff.
listen, tonight's show is going to be a wild one because we are going to debate whether Antonio Brown could be or may already be
Not
the best wide receiver for the Bucs in 2021. But before we dive into that, Jake Arians is president of the Arians Family Foundation. You guys have a school supply and backpack event coming up for the kids. I wanted to give you the floor, let you tell people how they can participate, how they can donate, and what it's all about, man.
Yeah, so AriansFamilyFoundation.com has all the information on the foundation. As you guys know, we've got the school backpack giveaway, one of my favorite days of the year. I'm not going to be able to make it down to training camp, but we have 100 kids come out. We have a lot more backpacks than that, and then we fill them with school supplies. We have an Amazon wish list. You can check all of our Twitter. There's an Amazon wish list link on there they can go to, and it makes it super easy. It goes right to the people in Tampa at the Guardian Litem and Voices programs. They're going to stuff those, give them to the kids. We want as many as possible. I mean, a lot of times these kids, the only thing they own is that backpack and those school supplies. And it's a big difference going to school the first day with something you're proud of. And you got a really cool Nike backpack that we got for them. And we want to stuff them with everything possible. So as many people, whether you're buying pens and paper or another backpack for these kids, whatever you can do helps. There's nothing too small. So you can get on all those, check that Amazon wish list and support that way.
Perfect. If you guys follow any of the three of us
Jump
or
on
the
right
four
now.
of us
I want to jump on right now and donate.
on Twitter, you will see a QR code that you can scan, and there's also a link in the majority of those tweets for the actual shopping list that he's talking about. I'll drop it and pin it in the comment section of this video right after we're done here, and I think one of these guys will go ahead and share it in the chat room as well. Now, to the business at hand. Oh, man, I don't know who to start with here, but we'll start with Jake. Jake, what do you think of the question that's being posed for tonight's show? Is Antonio Brown the best wide receiver that the Bucs have, or could he end up being the best wide receiver for 2021?
Let's preface. So that's the last part of the question is for 2021?
This coming season, will he end up being the best wide receiver on the team?
No. That was an easy show. See you guys later. No. Will he be a damn valuable piece? Absolutely. I said that when we signed him last year. It took him a little while to get going. As the season went on, he became more and more a part of things. But no, if Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are healthy, then Antonio Brown's your third option if you're not including Gronk. And now a healthy O.J. Howard coming back, who was really coming into his own last year when he blew the Achilles. Now, are all those guys healthy at the same time? God, I hope so, along with our offensive line. If not, the great thing about AB, and I said it last year when we signed, he plays all three positions, knows the offense well. I think he's going to be a lot more acclimated from jump this year, from game one, from preseason, than he was last year. He's going to have a little more confidence. He's going to fit in the locker room a little bit more. He's now played with Tom more games, caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl. He's lost a step. He's not the Hall of Famer that he was before, but he's still damn good. He knows the nuance of the game, runs the entire route tree, gets that veteran stuff going on when you're playing zone, playing man. So he's a damn valuable piece. But to say that he's going to be better than Chris Godwin or Mike Evans, no, man, it's laughable at this point.
I mean, Godwin's in a contract here. So you already know you're going to get the best Chris Godwin.
You get that regardless. The best part about Chris Godwin is that doesn't matter. You're getting it every day in practice. You're getting it.
It's got to matter a little bit, though. It's got to matter a little bit.
He's making what, $17 million this year? He's a third-round pick.
He's good.
$16 million more than he made last year. No, he's happy.
I mean, the position he plays on this team, he could easily, outstat every other receiver if he stays healthy. He was banged up last year, and I don't know, man. The argument can be made overall. He's the most talented guy on this roster. As far as
that's probably a better question: is who's more talented, is Mike or Chris? I have no idea where I would lean if we're talking about that. But AB is still the third option on this team.
I think Chris is a better route runner than Mike.
No, bro. Mike is so misunderstood, bro. Mike is a phenomenal fucking route runner. People just look at him as some sort of possession receiver that just goes up and mosses people. Mike is a phenomenal technical route runner who's misunderstood and will blow past you as well.
The problem with comparing them is they play very different positions. Mm-hmm. Chris plays in the slot. Now, he'll move around. He does a lot of different stuff. He blocks his ass off. One of the things that we love about him, he's so tough. He plays that Reggie Wayne, Hines Ward, Larry Fitzgerald slot role in this offense and will go through the hole and lead the back as a fullback, sometimes coming in motion, that kind of stuff. He does everything you've ever asked for him of him, makes the tough catches. I mean, you'd have to break them down to not necessarily route running, but contested catches, going up for the ball, one-handed catches, tough catches, run after the catch, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know. I think you're splitting hairs on that one. If you're talking about the best receiver of the three in totality, it's Antonio Brown's one of the 5 greatest in the history of the NFL.
Thank you.
That's the greatest 10-year stretch anybody's ever seen from a receiver.
But like you said,
you just have all the other stuff that clouds
he's not that guy. He's not that guy anymore.
No, he's a step slower, but he's pretty damn close. If he's 90% of that guy, which I think he is, 85.
But if you guys,
he's still pretty damn good.
I think
hold
three.
Hold on, Sammer.
Go ahead.
No, hold on, Sammer, because you wanted to do a little, put a little feather in your cap there, because Jake was said in totality. He means in totality for the career, not going into 2021, sir. In totality.
Well, that's what I was going to jump into. So I feel like all 3 of those guys are good route runners. Mike doesn't look like a good route runner because I think of his stride. He's got the long legs. I think it makes you think he's not a good route runner.
Skates, bro.
But I think he's a fairly good route runner. If I were to choose which of the 3 is a better route runner, it's Antonio Brown. It's easily Antonio Brown. He's the best route runner on this team. And coming into last season, he had a lot to prove, but he also was kind of in a weird gray area. Came into the team late. Didn't really, but along the last 5 games of the season, who led the team in receiving yards from the wide receiver position? Antonio Brown. Regardless of anyone being injured or not being injured, he led the team from the wide receiver position over the last 5 games of the season, and he had amazing chemistry with Tom. Now he has a whole offseason, and he's been training his ass off, and he has something to prove. He still wants to get paid. He has one more chance to get paid. He's going to come in hungry as hell, and I don't know. I have a feeling he's going to end up being the leading yardage in terms of wide receiver on this team. He's hungry. He has all to prove. And that's not to take away from Godwin or Tyler Johnson or Mike Evans or Scotty, wide receiver 1 Miller. Like, it's not to take away from them. It's just a simple fact that he will not be seeing cornerback 1 or cornerback 2 every single week. So he's going to flourish, and Tom loves him. Tom's going to look for him, and he does all the little things that Tom loves in those scat back type wide receivers.
Are you done?
Hey, Tom did choose to get AB the numbers over Rojo. Remember that game? Rojo just needed like one more carry to go over
24 yards, bro. He needed more than one carry.
It could have been one carry.
And
it could have been one.
Hey, and that's veteran versus sit down, Rojo. That's a veteran thing. But are you done? Are you done?
To Sammer's point, the only thing I can give credibility to there is AB is always on the field. He plays through everything. Now he missed some games late. He's getting older in his career, but through his career,
so does Godwin and Mike.
Available. Mike and Chris got to do that. Now Mike went to Chicago on one leg. Mike will play through anything too. He's an absolute warrior. I just think it's a hell of a problem to have. We were talking about this. I mean, you're talking about who's going to lead them in total yards. I still got to lean Mike.
Listen, Sammer, to your point about the chemistry and another year in the system, that goes the same for Mike and Godwin as well, bro. Like Jake has said plenty of times, this team should be 20% better. I mean, the chemistry is going to be – I mean, dude, Mike can go the fuck off this year just based off the chemistry and being healthy.
They can all go the fuck off. They can all go the fuck off, but that still doesn't mean that AB doesn't end up leading the team in yardage. Just because he's not facing the cornerback that Mike's going to face. Think about that.
May could get on board with catches. I think he could be close for having the most catches, having the most yards. I mean, Mike's just broke. I mean, what, 7 for 7 for 1,000 yards, 8 for 8, whatever it is now?
I think he goes for 8, honestly.
I don't think there's any doubt if he plays 14 games, he's getting.
Yeah, we got extra game.
That. I think AB could have a ton of targets. How do you defend us at this point? Are you playing man?
You don't even need O.J. Howard on the field.
You have the capabilities of playing man against us. You go play zone.
But that's where AB will shine.
I mean, you can't. Then we get a bracket cover Mike, and Chris is left in the slot to work against linebackers and safeties, and AB's on that. Oh, and by the way, the tight end.
I don't think you can afford not to. I don't think you can afford not to play man against us. I think teams are going to have to play close, bring pressure. That's the only hope they have of really slowing us down.
You're getting torched.
Yeah, if we hit the ground running.
You can't play man.
But if they let's say we face a team that has 2 capable corners and they play us man, who's going to win their one-on-one? Who would you bet on winning their one-on-one? AB.
Mike or Godwin's going to win.
AB's going to win it every time, dude. He's going against cornerback 3
or Scotty.
Dude.
Well, not necessarily cornerback 3. Not everybody's 2 is playing in the slot against Chris.
I still think because of his route running and his speed compared to those 2 guys, he's the one who's going to get open first.
He's a step slower. He ain't
90% AB. Come on, 90% AB is still AB.
But he was still more quick than fast. I mean, it wasn't like he was a blazer anyway. I mean, Mike's still in his prime. Chris is absolutely in his prime.
He's twitchy.
At this stage in his career, Jalen Darden is a better route runner, bro. Have you watched Twitter?
Dude, he hasn't even gotten a training camp. Let's not.
I don't know about route runner, but making you miss in a phone booth.
That dude is quick, boy. That dude is quick.
But that was AB early in his career.
Exactly.
We still got Tyler Johnson on this fucking team too, who's like Godwin 2.0
By the way,
with a little bit more speed.
I'm gonna mention OJ again, who in the game he blew his Achilles, caught a touchdown, and split out wide.
Split the defense right up the middle, right? It was a seam route.
And we got a quarterback this year who has 2 MCLs. 2
MCLs.
What are you gonna do now?
And Jake, Cameron Brate went off in the fucking playoffs against Washington.
Of course he did.
Like, what the fuck?
Of course he did.
Cameron Brate.
Listen,
but
when it comes down
so
to
did
it,
AB. So did
the
AB.
most reliable hands on this team are always going to be Cameron Brate.
I'll never forgive him for that fourth and like 3.
I was just about to say, unless Jameis is throwing a 4th and 4 and he gets the first down and drops it.
One catch or one drop.
I mean, look, the whole key to all of this is the offensive line staying healthy. They stayed healthy.
I said it, Pac-Man.
They played together, minus the run in the Super Bowl, which was phenomenal. But you keep Tom semi-clean and healthy, and you're getting lit up. I mean, I honestly think they could break offensive records. I think Tom's going to be in the MVP conversation.
Dwayne Thomas in the chat room. Sammer's getting shitted on, but he's absolutely right.
Oh my God! Yeah, you only read the ones that are. In your
I'm
favor.
right, dude.
Jake,
did you guys not watch him? What he did in the final 5-6 games of the season? What he did against the Falcons? Tom looked for him. Tom told the Bucs, I want AB, and they brought him in.
Did you not watch Mike Evans on 1 week literally freaking hyperextending his fucking knee?
I told you, I'm not
Going to
taking away
Washington
from Mike.
and literally not carrying,
Okay.
but like stepping up and being the number one target on this team. Him and Cameron Brate.
Okay.
Are you
Did
joking?
AB not shine against the
On one
Redskins?
leg?
Go look
On
at
one
that game. Go watch that game against the Washington football team.
Dude,
AB
he
was
scored a
all over the
touchdown.
place.
He scored a touchdown on a busted coverage.
No,
Mike
dude,
had,
he
like,
had an
7
out pattern that was
tackles.
ridiculous. He was on that night, dude. And Tom kept looking at him. And that's what you're thinking, that what I'm saying AB is going to be the better wide receiver is taking away from those other guys. It's not disrespecting them. He's just going to be better because of Tom and his level of hunger and what he's trying to prove. Guy's on a fucking mission, man.
Jake, I got a question for you, fantasy related. You have a fantasy show, right? TDN Fantasy. It's a phenomenal fucking podcast, by the way. You guys should listen.
Thank you.
Go download it. It's great. It won me a fucking championship last year. Jake, I got a question for you.
I'm waiting on my check, by the way.
Yeah, I'll forward that to you, bro. It's on the way. Where are you drafting Tom Brady? Because I'm hearing all these people. Kyler Murray is in the top 3. Brady's like QB6. But I'm looking at Brady with all of these healthy weapons. And I know I'm biased, but I'm like, hold on. Do I want Kyler Murray? Or am I going to trust Tom Brady? Like,
My biggest problem with fantasy is everything's skewed too much when quarterbacks run.
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback in fantasy. I don't think the Eagles win 6 games. I think he's going to be bad. I think it's going to be ugly. I hate Devonta Smith got drafted there because I love the kid. It's a bad situation. But it skews things. And Kyler runs and he runs for touchdowns. Tom doesn't move. He's going to have his 3 touchdown runs and his 5 1-yard runs for the year on 4th and 1. I think, like I said, I think he's going to be in the MVP conversation. I think he's a top 6 quarterback. I think he probably throws pushing 5,000 yards. But that one thing messes you up. Now, that the bust potential for Kyler Murray, to use him as an example, is just like that Cardinals team, really high. They could be 11-6 maybe, or they could be 6-11 and the wheels fall off. And you're counting on AJ Green having a resurgence, counting on a rookie and Rondale Moore coming out and being a part of things. And the rumors are that their quarterback doesn't like to work hard and their star receiver doesn't practice 2 days a week.
ouch.
It could get ugly there. I don't know. I mean, fantasy is such a far cry from reality when it comes to football. I think Tom's going to have the best year of his career. I'm on record as saying that for a long time. I said in the middle of the season last year. I think last season was the second best season he's ever had. I think he breaks all those numbers. I think he's probably a top 5 quarterback at the end of the year in fantasy, but I'm still waiting on quarterbacks. You're going to have to take Kyler to answer your question. In the top 8 rounds, I bet you can get Tom in the 9th, 10th, 11th in most drafts.
It's
I'm
crazy.
drafting him 1 overall, buddy.
No, I'm good.
1 overall.
Yeah.
I'm not doing
I want to play in your league.
There's always
never do that.
somebody in a Tampa league that's going to draft Tom 1 overall. Not in any of my leagues.
I'm going to hit you with the Tom Morantz and the baby oil question. I'm not doing that.
Listen, man. For all of you guys out there, also remember the numbers 312-626-6799, 9955-20-4740 to get into the waiting room. Hop on here. Somebody fucking come on here and defend me. Somebody
And
come
Nick
on,
B.
defend my honor or prove me wrong.
Hey, Nick B says, Jake, put your foot down and end the debate, one way or the other. Jake?
I said no to start the damn thing. I don't have to put my foot down. I said, nice show. Look, here's the thing. I hope you're right. Because that means we got 95% of the old Antonio Brown. I'm just on record as saying one of the top 5 greatest receivers in the history of the game and maybe the best 10-year stretch in the history of football. If that's the case, I mean, shit, if we get 80% of what AB was 3 or 4 years ago, much less 95%, I hope you're right. I don't think it's going to happen, but I hope you're right.
The thing is, AB, when he was in his prime, people talked about him as the number 1 receiver in the league, right?
He was. There wasn't
Okay.
talked about. He was.
When
He was.
Godwin,
And
I don't know if-
Megatron was on the field for a lot of those years.
when I don't know if we've hit Godwin's prime per se, but I think we're kind of in the middle of Mike Evans' prime. Have either of those guys ever been discussed as the number 1 wide receiver in the league?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if we're getting into that argument, no. But
So
I don't think
not a
Antonio Brown
90%
is that guy
Antonio-
anymore.
But do you think a 90% Antonio Brown is not top 5 in the league right now?
No.
What?
When you're playing
I
for
don't
the
know that
Bucs,
he's 90%. Bro.
Sammy, he's not in Pittsburgh's offense. He's not the number 1 option.
Yeah, he is.
Okay?
He's
Well,
in the same offense.
What
What
I'm
are
saying
you
is
talking
Their damn
about?
offense is 2006.
What I'm saying is he's not the number 1 option here anymore.
He's not the guy.
And he's a year older as well. And you've got a bunch of young guys chomping at the bit that are going to want a piece of that as well.
I'm sorry, let them chomp at the bit, but AB has forgotten more football and more routes than they've ever fucking looked at, dude.
But again, he's an older guy. Is he going to stay up? Is he going to continue?
I don't know that I'll jump on that bandwagon.
You don't think AB has known more football than Tyler Johnson or Scotty Miller?
Hey,
Really?
calm down.
Known
Calm
more?
down with this guy.
No, I don't think he's known more. He's played
been in the
more. He's
league longer.
experienced more. He's scored more touchdowns in big games, but that's a whole other conversation we're getting into. Who's the smartest receiver in that group?
I wasn't meaning it from a smart side. I was meaning it from an experience and understanding what to do on the field, how to read certain coverages, how to break off a route in the Super Bowl the way he did. Come on. You honestly think
there that I could blow this one out of the water and put my foot down?
Okay, then do it. Do it. Do you honestly think Tyler Johnson or Scotty Miller in that spot would run that route that AB ended up scoring a touchdown
They
on?
would have run the route that was called.
He ran the wrong route.
I get that, but I thought he ran a different route on purpose.
Your boy Blaine was
He
like,
didn't do it on purpose.
Oh, he didn't?
He
I thought he did.
Route, Sam.
I thought he broke it off because he knew what was best.
No, it ended up being the right route, but it was the wrong route.
It was a touchdown. As far as I'm concerned, that's the fucking right route.
Hey, Jake, was that one of those like, what the fuck? No, yes.
Yeah, but
That's
it worked.
exactly what that was.
It worked. I thought he broke it off a certain way because of what he saw.
No,
Tom read it. Tom read it fine. See, that's the chemistry I'm talking about. He could run the wrong route, and Tom will still complete the ball to him, right? Come on. We're going to have 3 1,000-yard receivers this season, by the way. That's where I'm going to go with my bold take.
Hey, Jake, what do you make of their games where Mike Evans either he's too nice, he's too quiet, he's too unselfish, that he's not a factor, at least in regards to catching balls? What do you make of that?
I'd go back and look and see who was healthy on the other side of the field. Because you bracket coverage, I don't care who it is. I mean, Megatron's been taken out of games the same time, and Mike's not that. He's a team player, so if it's called whatever it's called, and they're bracket covering him, and Chris isn't out there healthy, or Chris and Antonio aren't out there healthy, it makes it really hard if Scotty Miller's on the other side and he's not healthy, or he's have to play on outside, and you could take him away. And there's certain guys that he doesn't play that good against, that he's had bad games. Now he's stepped up, and it all depends. A lot of it depends on how healthy Mike is. Mike plays through a lot of stuff. He's a damn warrior. That could be a detriment to him when you're talking about showing up. Now, if he's on the field, he's opening up for everybody else because you are bracket coveraging him a lot, especially when we play the Saints. That's not always a man-to-man thing. I mean, those numbers get thrown out there and get skewed, and they are what they are. But I don't think it has anything to do with him being nice or not in the game or anything like that. He's competitive as hell. It's just sometimes you can take guys out with how you want to play them in coverage.
Mm-hmm.
So
Jake, we talked about this last year, where the pre-snap stuff, where it was Brady getting comfortable in the offense, getting an understanding. So he's got to trust what he sees. And there were instances, I think you broke it down for us in one of your therapy sessions, where if Brady saw pre-snap or noticed pre-snap that it was going to be bracket or double coverage, he wouldn't even look towards Mike's way. There's something.
As he shouldn't.
Yeah, but there's something to be said. But they would do that and then roll out of it post snap. But there's something to be said as far as chemistry and being able to go 1, 2, 3 and through all your reads. That won't be an issue this year, where it's like, forget Mike, I'm not even looking over there. They roll out of it. I'm still not looking at Mike. I'm going somewhere else. So there's the chemistry. I mean, you said it, 20% better.
That goes back to his offensive line healthy. How much time does he have? He should be better in the offense. He should be better post snap than he was last year. That was the biggest, more of a problem than pre-snap. It's a new offense. So you're looking at things, but you're reading it differently on the way back than he's ever done it. So getting to 1, 2, 3, you got to have the time to do it. And you got to know, based on pre-snap, where 1, 2, 3 is, where you're looking post-snap while you're dropping back. I think that's the stuff he's going to be better at, and that's going to be quicker. Then the ball's going to come out. And if all these guys are healthy, unless it's 3rd and 15, you got to hit a big play. You're going to take whoever's open the first time you see it. If your pre-snap read is right and one is open, you hit him. If it's 8 yards, great. If you get a run after the catch, great. You're not trying to hit 20, 30-yard passes all the time. Now, those are in every single one of these route concepts. That's what you started seeing at halftime of the Falcons game, the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, the chunks, all the way through the Super Bowl. You're going to see a ton of that. But I don't think you're going to see on every play. I think Tom's going to do a really good job of getting rid of the ball, taking what the defense gives you, which is going to be something. If he sees it pre-snap, then it's available post-snap, he's going to throw it.
By the way, you didn't. We mentioned all the weapons. Now we have Gio Bernard coming out of the backfield.
Love him.
That's just scary, bro.
I love Gio. You're talking about a pro's pro. You got to tell him one time, smart, catches it great, runs it great. Go look what he did last year filling in for Joe Mixon. You talking about fantasy. He was a freaking fantasy darling last year filling in for Joe Mixon, but he took a huge workload. He's a little guy that can't really do that. He'd have to do that now. He's going to have his role. He's going to fill in. He can do a little bit of everything, but I think he's an awesome addition for what we put in. I mean, that was playoff Lenny did a hell of a job through the Super Bowl of being that third down back. I don't know that we really want Lenny doing that. We'll see how camp goes, but Gio, I think, should be able to fit right in as one of Tom's favorite guys he's ever had in that role.
Solid. Guys, we have 2 callers. I'm going to let in 714 area code, and he better fucking agree with me or I'm hanging up. 714, you're on with the Loose Cannons, man. What's up?
Guys, yo, boys. It's Lewis in Southern California.
What's up, Lewis?
What's up, Lewis?
Lewis, tell me you're on my side, bro. Come on. I don't like that laugh.
Yeah, I didn't either. That was not convincing.
Nope, not at all.
No, I'm sorry, Sam. I love AB. I love what he's brought to the club. I like the attitude he's brought. I think most important is he knows what his role is. If we're just speaking straight, if we're talking everyone's healthy and we're not dealing with any injuries and we're talking about who the best receiver on the team is, and I don't think yards and touchdowns are necessarily who's going to have the highest catches or touchdowns or yards by the end. I don't know if that'll necessarily determine who either the most important or the best receiver on this team is. But it's between Chris and Mike because they're just such matchup nightmares between Mike's size and his physicality and how he can just win over anybody. But I think at the end of the day, I think Chris this year is really going to have a redemption year because he was just so banged up last year. And I love Mike. I'm one of Mike's biggest fans. He is such a warrior out there. But Chris is such a matchup nightmare playing in the slot in the slot between linebackers and safeties. I just think he's going to get all like the big chunk plays. He's going to get the bubble screens. He's going to be, I just think, involved in the offense a lot more this season. And I have respect for all the guys. I mean, between Tyler Johnson and the guy we just drafted and Scotty, wide receiver 1, and between OJ and Gronk and Bray.
Don't forget Jalen Darden. Mark my words.
Darden. I called it first, Jake. Hold.
Maybe not this year.
Everything he said about Chris and
you in
Mike,
March.
AB's doing it too. AB's
Listen,
taking the
on
bubble screens.
on kickoffs and punts, it was time to go
thanks.
fill up on chicken wings and some beer. Now I'm not leaving my seat, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I called it. Remember, I called it when we had him in that rookie camp. I said we're gonna have 3 touchdown returns this season.
Hey, Lewis,
kick
aren't
and
you
punt.
joining us on one of our trips, bro?
Well, you guys are coming out to my neck of the woods. You're coming to SoFi, right?
Yes, sir.
We are.
Yeah, we'll meet up for sure. We're going to give these guys an ass kicking for last year, so we're going to make Stafford very welcome in one of his first games out here. So that's going to be really, really awesome, guys. Buckaholics, that's going to be awesome. We're going to give them a really good ass kicking that they deserve. But the other thing I did want to say was, I know we love to talk about the weapons and everything on this team. Just to throw back to the Godfather, old school, what the buck. What drives this team on both sides of the ball is going to be the defensive line, the pass rush, and the offensive line. That's what's not getting talked about enough. This offensive line having another year to gel together. I mean, Tristan Wirfs, this guy was just an absolute monster last year, and we got to give credit to Donovan. He stepped up last year. Ali's going to do his thing. Red's going to do his thing, and we have Kappa, Stinney. And when you stick any other backups you stick on there, I think this offensive line is really going to hold it down this season. It's really going to get a lot more credit than they were really not being called out for last year.
Love it. Lewis, great call, as always. We'll see you in L.A., and you owe me a drink because I'm correct and these guys are all wrong. And I don't, that
Before
just...
you take that next call.
Hey, Jake, are you at all concerned about the depth at tackle, offensive tackle?
Losing Joe Haig, it was a nice swing tackle, could play all 5 positions. I love the kid from Notre Dame, but he's going to play inside. Maybe a little bit. But, it's the NFL. You cannot be that deep everywhere. I've never seen a team this deep. We talking about pass rushers. We just added another one in Tryon. I like the defensive line depth. I think we're going to be fine there.
Does Stinney play more than one position?
Yeah, he'll move around and play. That's you got to have those swing guys. That could be an issue. We're a little stronger inside than we are outside. If you're going to lose a tackle, that's going to be tough regardless. But the great thing about that is you have multiple tight ends, and Gronk was kicking the rookie of the year's ass man-to-man in Washington in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
He did it again in the Super Bowl. I mean, he's taking guys on as a left tackle and dominating people. You're talking about, our blocking tight end. Then you tackle over with a tight end a lot. You're gonna shade him that side. Hopefully, anything that happens isn't a multi-month, much less multi-week injury.
We have a super chat donation from Lazy Couch Gamer. He sent us €5. I'm not sure what that translates to, but solid. Thank you. And he also
it's
writes,
like at least $300, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think he wrote. Sammer is right. Taking off the fanboy glasses. If AB is still at 95%, he's still better than Evans and Godwin will ever be. I don't agree with that in terms of ever, but
Sammer, I don't buy into your bullshit. Okay, that's one of your fucking burner accounts.
I agree.
I don't know, man. How would I donate euros? How do I donate euros?
Listen to me. And then you did the Euro thing, and then you added the Godwin and Mike will ever be.
Yeah, he went way over the top. He went over the top.
You went too
man.
extra, bro.
I don't know.
But lazy couch gamer really does describe you very well.
If Mike Evans starts his career with 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons, can we talk about that for a second?
Listen, you guys are trying to paint me into this corner as if I hate Mike Evans. I love Mike Evans.
No. Look, I know you don't. This is a fun conversation because it's a great problem to have. But seriously, you just broke the record, tied the record. You started with 10. I think that's doable. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be in 3 years, but we'll see.
Thunder thighs.
You talking about serious accomplishment, Canton style. He's already done with no.
He's already a Hall of Famer.
I don't know that ever gets touched.
No, I mean maybe
with the extra game now.
Maybe with 17th game, maybe
all those records are going to get fucking screwed.
They'll kind of be a little weird, but
dude, 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
We were talking the other day. Me and Latte were talking that he's basically Randy Moss with a little bit slower speed on the back end because Randy could just go. But yeah, Mike he reminds me a lot of Randy Moss. He's just not as freaky fast, but he's still faster than you think.
Can we agree though? Can we agree though, Jake, that he's misunderstood? Like people that think he's just this jump ball possession guy. He's a phenomenal fucking route runner, bro. That can not only that he can pull away from you too. Like he's got sneaky speed because he's a strider.
I think a lot of that was the first 5 or 6 years. Jameis made a lot of big plays, but he can't throw the back shoulder very well. And Mike excels on that throw. I think that's a nuance you'll see a lot this year, where he is going and that big long stride, he stops and makes that back shoulder catch.
Speaking of which,
I think there's some growth in his game that we'll see this year for sure. But yeah, he's misunderstood. When you're 6'5", 6'6", you don't move like Scotty Miller. You don't look the same as Antonio Brown running a route. That's a big long strides, and stopping that takes a little bit.
Speaking of back shoulder passes, how about that connection between Tom and AB on those back shoulder? I mean, they're beautiful. It's
another guy that excels back shoulder. So does Chris. No. I don't know how you stop that.
Hey, keep making my point, Jake. Keep making my point.
So does Tyler Johnson. Tough guy.
Okay, Jake, but you think Tyler Johnson's in AB's conversation? Get out of here, dude.
I did want to ask you earlier. We talked about or Sammer, brought up Mike Evans has never been the best receiver in the league, and I'm not saying that he's been the best receiver in the league, but have there been times you think he's top 3, top 4, and it's just misunderstood because of the team that he plays for and the market that he plays for? Because Mike Evans has downright been fucking dominant some years, and it's just Jameis throwing the ball, overthrown, not very accurate at times, but he was still fucking dominant.
They threw it a ton, so that helped him. But yeah, I think he's been top 5 his entire career.
Thank you. I
don't think he gets anywhere near enough credit. I think there was probably 2 years where he was maybe top 3, maybe pushing top 3. But I think he's been a top 5 guy his entire career. I think he still is right on the cusp of that right now. But the league is loaded with receivers.
I mean, I always thought he got fucked up.
Been ridiculous. But if you're going to say, put him in a blender and build a receiver, and you take what they've done, I don't know that you're taking a lot of guys over him. If we're redrafting the entire league right now and all the receivers are available, he's going to be up there with the guys that you want on your team.
He did it with Josh McCown. He did it with Josh McCown.
He did it with Glennon.
And Glennon for an entire season. The guy was still fucking doing it. What? I still don't know how he got 1,000 yards that season. Those guys didn't throw the ball.
His draft class, OBJ is so much more popular, but I'm taking Mike Evans over OBJ and Sammy Watkins.
Yep.
And it's not even a fucking, I'm not even blinking.
Brady Butler in the chat.
Over having them both.
Brady
I always
Butler in the
thought
chat
he
says
was
that
ding.
he got Johnny Manziel a first-round pick. Go ahead, Stink.
Let's think it in.
No, I was gonna say I always thought he got dinged because the balls were never very accurate to him. He'll never have the yards after the catch stats, or he never would under Jameis, because the ball he was always just falling into the receptions or coming back for them. He never got the ball in stride. Rarely.
Yeah, it's 50-50 balls always.
His yak is garbage. Look at the Super Bowl. Beautifully placed fucking slant by Brady. He picks up
That's
fucking.
not his game, though. He's never going to be a yards after the catch guy. That's why people think the possession thing is there. But yards after the catch are when you go deep and smoke somebody like LA 2 years ago and you score a long touchdown. Technically, that's yards after the catch, but he's not a run after the catch, make guys miss, because that big body isn't made for that. Mm-hmm. It's going in a straight line. It's stopping. It's the back shoulder stuff. It's going up and beating people. That's his game, and he's damn good at it.
I think a lot of people compare him to Julio, and that's where they kind of compare, Julio's got all the yak, and Mike doesn't. But again, I feel like Mike's been used.
I don't think there's ever been a body in the NFL that you can compare to what Julio can do athletically.
Calvin Johnson. Really?
No.
Calvin can do that.
He's bigger, but he can't move like Julio did.
Calvin had like 400 yards one game on like 5 catches.
He's unbelievable. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a giant body, but he can't move like Julio.
What about T.O.?
No.
Ooh,
T.O.'s stiff compared to Julio.
T.O. was a beast, though, man. Hey,
but after the catch, he was a beast.
Dude, I'm talking about Julio's a 7'2" high jumper in high school. All that translates to the field. I mean, he's done more athletic stuff. I don't know that. I mean, A.J. Brown with Tennessee.
Yeah.
That he's now playing with. Is similar, but I don't think he's got the hops. I don't think he's got quite that twitchy explosiveness for that size. I mean, I don't know that there's ever been another guy like Julio. Right. So comparing anybody, much less Mike, to that, very different games.
Atlanta ran Julio a lot on crossers, a lot across the middle of the field. I mean, he would eat us up on a consistent basis,
us, dude.
Right across the middle of the field. And he'd had so much yak.
14 different
didn't help.
We were running Tampa 2 all the time, and throwing it behind the linebackers in front of the safeties to crawl, and then in route is what you do against that coverage.
We didn't help. We were putting fucking Vernon Hargrave's 5'4" ass on him, right? The guy who was afraid to even bump a guy. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, he wasn't afraid. He just made business decisions, bro. What you mean afraid?
From day one, he was like, my rookie contract's plenty. Hey, I got a call from 727 area code. You're on with the Loose Cannons. What's up, man?
What's good, y'all, man? I'm finally on the show, bro. What's good? I appreciate y'all.
What's your first time?
Man, my first time calling Loose Cannons, man.
Okay, so you got to give us your wing preference, and are you dipping it in blue cheese or shit? Go.
Bro, it's dry rub and blue cheese. Come on.
My man. Okay. My man.
Special.
I respect it.
Dry rub and blue cheese, man.
My
I'm
man.
original right here.
What's your name? I didn't catch your beautiful name, sir.
It's all good. It's Lance, man. I'm King Cafe on the app though. When I was messaging and stuff.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's active. He's active on our YouTube channel. Yo, man, tell me you called in to back me up on what I'm talking here.
Bro, hey, all right, look, don't be mad at me, but I have to go back to Mike Evans, man. Don't be mad at me. I'm serious, bro. It has to be Mike Evans.
Okay, well, come on. You gotta back it up. You can't just tell me it's Mike Evans and just hang up.
Well, okay, let's just go back to the stats. I mean, Mike Evans just broke the record 7 years in a row. That's hard to beat, man. Now I understand, like, AB got skills. I'm not gonna lie, but AB's messed up. So I don't know. I stick with my boy, man. I can't go nowhere else but Mike Evans right now. It's his stats, bro. Speaks for it. Where else can we go? What else can we say?
AB's got stats to speak for too, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He sat out a whole year too.
Change his fucking lower thirds to Skip Bayless. My God, bro. You're just gonna
Sammer Bayless.
Sammer Bayless. Just stop, bro.
S. Bayless. Oh, I don't know.
Hey,
man.
but look, check this out. I will be going to that spot on the Mabry, man, to check out that wing spot that Sammer was holding out on. Stink that was holding out on us. But that's all good though.
Stay tuned for some special content.
Appreciate you calling in, man. You better start calling in all the time.
No problem. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
sir.
Hey, Stank. You're the you're the old man in the group. You've been around.
Not by much.
You've been
not
around.
You're older than me.
Yeah, I'm 29. Latte's 31.
I'm 45, Jake. You're 44.
43.
Oh shit!
Think of me and Tom in the same breath.
Jake's a
Tom
baby.
turns 44 a little before I do.
Hey, Stank. So you're the elder statesman in.
Wait. Hold on, Christian.
Oh,
again?
In the
Okay,
road.
I'm sorry.
Damn, again.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He's like, son of a bitch, show me.
He's the guy that like couldn't wait to get married, and every time you call him, he just always drops the word wife constantly. Yeah, I'm gonna go out with my wife. Hey, I'm gonna go my wife.
Yeah.
All right, dude, we get it.
Unfortunately, you're almost as wrong as you are with the AB take. This is my second marriage, so yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So Stank, you're the
You gotta
elder
do over.
in Buckland. You've been around forever. You know, our boy said Mike Evans. Everybody loves Mike Evans. I mean, Mike Evans is one of my favorite players. Is Mike Evans going to go down as one of the, if not the most beloved Buccaneer? I'm saying of the new era. Hear me out. I'm not talking people like you that are old, new Bucs fans. As the most beloved Buck.
Yes.
And but like,
yes,
100%.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to jump in here before you answer that. This franchise ain't that old. So I think the question should be, does he go down as one of the most beloved Bucs of all time? Damn sure in the conversation before he's done, I think. Yeah. Go ahead there, Stanker.
No, I think you put him on the Mount Rushmore. I think you put him on the Mount Rushmore. Yeah. Like he's in the same breath as Rondé, as Derek Brooks, as Warren Sapp.
So are you removing Lynch? Should we change our code to?
No, I don't hate John Lynch.
Yes.
I don't hate John Lynch.
Yes.
John Lynch is by far one of the greatest Buccaneers of all time.
Okay, hey, decide right now. Mount Rushmore. You got to take one out. You got to put one in. Who you taking off?
I'm putting Mike Evans over. Mike Evans over Lynch. For sure.
Over Lynch, okay.
Especially if he finishes his career as a Buck.
Dude,
you know what?
Lynch benefited so much from Brooks and Sapp and Rice and playing cover two, by the way, having Rondé and good corners in front of him who knew how to play cover two. He benefited more than people like want to actually talk about. They put on the fan glasses and John Lynch, greatest safety of all time. Get the fuck out of here. He hit people hard, but how many times did he look like an absolute idiot when he was facing Barry Sanders? A lot of people did, but come on.
How many presidents are on Mount Rushmore? 4?
Everybody looked like an idiot playing
against No, Derek Brooks figured it out.
No, he turned Derek around quite a bit too. Listen, I'm gonna say something. Mike Evans is probably the greatest offensive player in Buccaneers.
There's no probably. He is already. He already is.
He is the greatest.
Yeah, and there's no probably. Who the fuck's come through here?
All right.
Horace Copeland?
How many presidents are on Mount Rushmore? 4 or 5? 4, right?
4.
That is 4.
Okay. Is Tom Brady on the Mount Rushmore of Buccaneers?
No. Not yet. Not yet.
What?
If he wins back to back, he's the fucking
here. No, but wait. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Tom Brady gets his own mountain, right? And then all the others, it's a much taller mountain. It's more majestic.
That's a cop out. That's a cop out. Bitch.
No, that's what I would do.
All of South Dakota and the rest of them go.
That's what I would do if we had a loose cannons Mount Rushmore. You guys know damn well I'm getting my own mountain in front of your mountains.
We know that you get your own camera too. We know
there
that.
You go. Boom.
Yeah.
And there you go. Tom Brady, Sam Raleigh makes sense. I love it, man.
Jake, question. For
I got
you.
2 callers waiting, so hurry up.
Well, they can wait. They can wait.
Wow.
Okay, 1 second. And I'm not insinuating that this would happen. I just want your thoughts as Jake, not Bruce Arians' son.
Wait, you're Bruce Arians' son?
Yeah. Wait, what?
When?
I
didn't even realize the last name was. Oh my God.
You didn't know that?
I just now figured that out. Holy shit.
There's a lot of Arians out there. It's easily done.
So we have a plethora, and we talked about Gio Bernard, and we know that the staff and coach and Leftwich, they love Vaughn and what he's done behind the scenes. He didn't get an offseason, he's gonna get one this year. Lombardi Lenny, playoff Lenny. With Akers going down, I mean, I know we're all in, but would they consider moving one of those guys if the price is right? I mean, people start going down, people start picking up the phone. You know what I mean? Like that's the first thing I thought was.
If your example is LA, probably not. 2 reasons: they're in the conference, and 2, they have no draft capital because they've already traded a ton of it away, and I don't know that they're going to want to give up a third for a running back. I mean, it's going to have to take a hell of an offer. Now, Rojo and Lenny are both free agents after the season. The cap should go back up, but you're probably not getting both back. Mm-hmm. And I think Rojo is going to go for 1,000 and have a hell of a damn year. I think he's kind of the forgotten guy when we're talking about all this stuff. You're just talking about a guy that was really young his first couple of years, really started coming into his own, and is going to be fresh every time he touches the ball. I think he's going to have a monster year. I think Lenny's going to have a really solid year, but I think he backs off a little bit of playoff Lenny. I don't know that that's the same role. Those guys were hurt. If you remember, Rojo wasn't available for a lot of that stuff. Are they going to listen? Yeah. I mean, people, you separate fandom from what's really going on in the front office. Somebody calls, you're going to listen. If they want to start talking about 2nd or 3rd round picks, they're going to listen. Do they do that? I don't know. They're all in for winning another Super Bowl, and you learn that you've got to have a deep room, especially with a 17th game. I think running back's one of the most important positions for having that depth when you're talking about 17 games. You're going to have a stretch or two where your lead dog might be banged up a little bit for a couple weeks, and you got to be able to fill that in with multiple guys, which we can do now. But say you traded Rojo or you traded Lenny, it's a lot thinner. You can't really get hurt. I mean, then you're out looking for somebody to add another piece in there. I mean, would they listen if the offer's high enough? You still got to build for now and the future, but I'm not a future guy. I hate fan bases that talk about our draft picks and our future.
You mean like we did? We don't want Tom. We don't want Tom Brady.
You to win. I'm a coach's kid. You know what happens? You don't win, you move. You get your ass fired. I'm a win now. Do what you take. I'm not let's tank the last 3 games for Tua or whatever else. Win the damn game. Win the Super Bowl.
You're a fantasy guy. Somebody said here, is this true? Rojo had more yards per carry attempt than Kamara and Dalvin Cook. What?
I believe it.
Dalvin Cook would be interesting. He had a lot more carries than Rojo. But yeah, he was at like 4.6 or something. It was huge last year.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he got at least 2 big runs called back, just like he always does. Anytime Rojo goes yard, it's like
but a lot fewer.
Explode. Take the call.
A lot fewer than usual. We had every year was like 5 or 6 Rojo runs would come back. We'd all look at the right tackle.
The Rams game with Jameis, like fucking 3 of them, like 50, 60-yard runs.
I got 2 calls, so I'm going to go to 813. You're on with the Loose Cannons. Please tell me you are agreeing with me that AB will be the best wide receiver on this team in 2021.
I don't know if he's the best wide receiver on the team, but he sure has a chance to be one of the most productive wide receivers on the team. What's going on, guys? It's JC. How we doing?
What's up?
What's up, JC? Pewter Report in the house.
Oh, great call. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Is that it?
That's it?
He's no Mark Cook, guys.
Hey. No, Antonio Brown, I mean, this is a guy who the last time he played a full season, he caught over 100 balls for their almost 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. He hasn't played a full season in the last 2 years. Played eight games last year, 1 in the regular season, 1 game with the Patriots. So, one thing that tells me is he's still pretty fresh. And if you watch his off-season videos, the guy's just an absolute animal. One area where I do think that he could lead this team is in touchdowns. Tom Brady, for some reason, they have this weird relationship where even when plays break down, as we saw in the Super Bowl, Tom can still find him and get him the touchdown, get him the ball. His 79 touchdowns are the 3rd most out of any active player right now in the last 10 years. So, the guy's been a touchdown machine. And not only that, and, obviously you got Evans and Godwin ahead of him, and I think Godwin most likely has the best overall season for any Bucs wide receiver if he can stay healthy. But in other ways that his production is going to be measured in not just yards and catches and touchdowns is, his ability to get first downs. Much like his touchdowns are 3rd most, so his first down receptions. Out of all active players, he's got the 3rd most first down receptions. His ability to find soft spots, create separations, and get open to make critical, drive-sustaining catches. It's going to be a huge asset,
So let me pause you, JC. Let me pause you, JC.
He's going to be the Adam Humphries of this team?
So let me pause you, JC. Jake, can you tell me, if your receiver leads your team in first downs and touchdowns, is he not the most important wide receiver on your team at that point?
What?
Pretty much up there, but that's not how you preface the question to start. That's why I asked specifically.
I'm asking you a question right now. I'm not on my debate here. I'm asking you a question.
I said he might lead the team in catches. JC's
not catches. Not catches.
Touchdowns and first downs. If it's catches, touchdowns, first downs, but not yards, then you still lose.
Touchdowns are points, though.
You said yards.
He has
you're misunderstanding. I'm not saying that. I'm not arguing. I'm not in my argument. I'm asking him a genuine question. How do teams value their wide receivers? The ones who score the most points, or is it a combination of everything? Like, if your wide receiver has 60 and he has 8, 9, 10 touchdowns, and you have a receiver who has 100 but he only has 5 touchdowns, who's the more valuable wide receiver?
Stats never tell all the truth. Okay. So if your guy's leading, like Robert Tonyan led the Packers with 11 touchdowns, he's not even close to their most valuable weapon on offense. He was open because you're double teaming their star receiver. Okay. That's going on with Mike and Chris. So if your third option is AB and he's getting first downs, he's getting touchdowns, he's a damn valuable piece, which I've said. I just don't think he's going to be the most valuable guy on the team, because I think the guys that are drawing the coverage to allow somebody to get open is more valuable, if not just as valuable as the guy catching it, which we've got 6 of.
That's been my argument with the whole Godwin and Mike Evans.
The caveat
is that, and I'm not taking anything away from Godwin. Obviously, he's a beast, but and he's proven that he can at this point. But in the early on years, it was like, well, we can just get rid of Mike, trade him, and I'm like, well, wait. He's doing that because Mike Evans is across on the other side of the field. You know what I mean? Like, Mike is drawing coverage. And by the way, JC, I'm sick of hearing the bullshit like Sammer. Look at his workout videos. He's a workout warrior. Oh, my God. Mike Evans doesn't post fucking workouts. What if he did? What if Godwin posted? You think those guys are just
Poppy, you've been listening to my show too much, bro.
You think they're just
Who said I was basing it on that? I was simply showing you that this guy's working his ass off and he has something to prove.
You want me to go to the text message? He's working his ass off.
He is. He's working his ass off.
To JC's point, nobody in the league works harder than AB. That's been
there. You go, JC. Great fucking call. Great call, JC.
JJ Watt.
The caveat here, though,
Hello,
is
JJ Watt.
if one of those guys get down, if one of those guys go down with injury, and Godwin, has another injury-plagued season, and Mike Evans, who is an absolute war machine, playing with the injuries that he had last year, if one of those are down for an extended period of time, Antonio Brown is versatile enough to step into most spots. As someone said, TB12 GOAT, man, he's not as great of a blocker as Chris Godwin, but he can get the job done. What I will say here, too, though, and this goes against the Antonio Brown argument, is, and Jake can back me up on here, his dad wanted to play a lot more 12 personnel, and you saw that coming out of the season a little bit with O.J. Howard and Gronk on the field at the same time. If O.J. can sustain, being healthy and pick up, I think last year he was the 7th rated tight end, 7th best tight end, and he was only averaging 3 yards a catch, and he had it was a bizarre stat that one of our writers over at Pewter Report just wrote about. But he was one of the best tight ends in the league in the first couple of games of the season. And if Bruce and the team does look to use more of that 12 personnel, because you got a Ferrari out there and a tight end and O.J. Howard, that creates so many more different matchup problems for opposing defenses, and it will be harder to get Antonio Brown to get on the field as much as you would like him to, and to put up the numbers to become the best Bucs wide receiver, quote unquote.
Great fucking call, JC.
Terrible call at the end there. And
great point. I mean, the 12 personnel stuff is a good point. The alternative to that is they can be in so many different things, and everything's a matchup nightmare. It's going to change week to week. I mean, the playoffs were almost a necessity to go 12 personnel. That's who was healthiest. That's what we needed to make sure Tom was protected. We're playing really good defenses with big-time pass rushes. So that was really why we leaned on that 12 personnel. I don't think we're going to start the season in 12 personnel very often. I think we're going to have all 3 of those guys out there with Gronk. But there's still going to be a lot of that, and they're going to be mixed up, and you're going to have certain packages on certain drives. There's a lot of mouths to feed, and they're all going to get a big opportunity, because I think we're going to throw it 36 times a game.
Yeah, and you guys mentioned that ball hog. Now we have a pass-catching running back in Gio Bernard. He's going to catch a lot more balls than any of our backs did last year.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that's your third down guy right there. I think there's going to be a ton of catches for first downs with Gio.
That's our boy JC, who called in from Pewter Report. He's one of their new writers there. Definitely give them a follow if you don't, and check him out. He does some good stuff. JC, thanks for that phone call. That was a good call. I have 2 more calls. I'm going to go to 352. You're on with the Loose Cannons. What's up, man?
Mute us in the background.
You got to mute the show. You got to mute the show.
That was a good call. I have 2 more calls.
352.
Hello.
3.
You're on with the Loose Cannons.
5 2 5 4 3 2.
You gave him way more time than you should have.
Oh no, he's gone. All right, we'll go to 910. 910, you're on with the Loose Cannons. What's up?
What's up, man?
What's up?
Okay, so I agree? Kinda do. But hear me out. I think they're all on the same level at a certain point. I think they all have a chance to be the best receiver on the team, though.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So you agree with me?
But yeah, I agree with you because I've seen AB's workouts over the off season, like you probably have, and I think dude's just gonna be a monster. And the last time AB has a full season, he went absolutely nuts. So until I've see otherwise, I just think he's the best receiver on the team. If that makes sense.
Makes sense to me. I don't know about the workout video part, but yeah, I've been saying
loves workout videos.
No, it's not about that. I've been saying he's working his ass off because he has something to prove. A guy with that kind of hunger is hard to discount.
I'm telling you right now, there's never been a day since AB's been in the league that he hasn't worked just like that. Nobody's ever worked harder, including JJ Watt Stanker. Nobody ever. That's not. I don't. And by the way,
that new name.
I say it on my show all the time. Don't tell me Saquon Barkley's gonna have a big year because he can run in sand.
Yeah,
he has a great Instagram account. That does not equate to football at all.
Unless
everybody in the league's working their ass off. Show me another running back that's ever had a successful year coming off an ACL other than Adrian Peterson. It's never been done.
Adrian Peterson is a freak.
I don't care that he can run in sand. So and the AB thing, yes, he's got workout videos. His Instagram's popping. He's never not worked like that. The dude is an absolute freak. It's not because he has anything to prove.
But Saquon is a freak, though. I mean,
Jake, don't you think he has something to prove? You don't think AB has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder? Because, again, he wants
always
another
has. He's a 6th-round pick. That's what makes him so special.
Just like
he's always worked that way. He's always had
too.
this chip on his shoulder. I don't think he's doing anything different than he knows how to do to get ready for a season than he's ever done. He's going to have a healthy mind, a healthy body, a healthy Tom Brady, and the best team he's probably ever played on in front of him. Yeah, I think he's looking forward to that more than a chip on his shoulder or something to prove. Yes, he wants to go put up numbers. He's a receiver. He's one of the greatest of all time. He still wants to be that. That's still a motivating factor, but the workout video doesn't matter. I mean, if you know anything about this dude, that's been going on since before Instagram was a thing.
Hey, shout out to the caller, man.
A solid point. That's what I said to start the show. I think it's possible that he is. I don't think he's going to be, but it's possible.
The people who called in have all unanimously just agreed with me. It just is what it is. Hey, man, I hope to hear from you again. Keep calling in. Good call. Great call. Amazing call. Agreeing with me? Always a great call. You done with the music there?
Is there another team in the league? I got a question for you. That your third best receiver, technically your number 3 option,
is it number 1?
Is a possibility to be the number 1 dude?
No.
Has there been a 1A, 1B, and 1C ever like this?
Jake, AB's a Hall of Famer.
There's a 1D also.
Is AB a Hall of Famer?
I'm asking you. AB
Yeah,
Hall of
first
Famer?
ballot.
Easy. Okay, so I mean, you could just answer that question with no other team has a wide receiver 3 as a Hall of Fame wide receiver 3.
Not that could still play at that level.
Right.
Do those questions make you laugh? Where they're like, who has the best wide receiver room? And they're like Dallas and Minnesota, and you're like, wait, what? Like, where the fuck is the like? Are you serious?
Have 3 number 1s.
Are you serious?
3 of them.
Look, here's the thing.
Four.
If all
What are you talking
3
about?
don't play,
Scotty 4.
okay. Well, you could split OJ out. You could play 12 personnel we just talked about.
5 number 1s.
You can go really big. You can go Tyler Johnson, Scotty, and Jalen Darden, who are all unproven, but that's a matchup nightmare in its own right. And you go 12 personnel and run the ball more, and only a couple of those guys play, but they stay fresh.
Will your dad get bored, Jake, and at halftime take out all the starting wide receivers and put in all the youngsters and be like, just Scotty, Tyler, Darden, go out there?
Yes, he will in preseason game number 2.
No. I'm talking about getting bored when you're up 42-0
no.
on the Lions at halftime.
No, because he wants to put up 70.
He's gonna Belichick motherfucker.
Fucking love your dad, bro. Just he's like
well, Tom ain't coming out.
Old ball coach now. It's our job to score.
Hey, what are you talking about? Your dad pulled Gabbert showed out in that Lions game.
He did, and Tom
went right for the jugular. On the first pass, he went for the fucking jugular.
Okay, but let's just say Tom doesn't come out, and you put Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller, and Darden out there. They still score points with Tom.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
I
hope your dad gets bored and has a little fun. Goes fucking John, goes EA Sports on it.
When the team can
I hope that's an option, Sam. I hope we're winning 42-0 against somebody, and we're like, maybe we sit everybody in front
Let's
of the last.
Fuck around and find out, huh?
Yeah, let's fuck around and find out. Jake,
I think there'll be a game like that or 2.
Yeah, hopefully on Halloween.
Oh my God, hopefully on Halloween. Lord Jesus. By the way, did you hear the reports? Taysom Hill is rumored to be the starting quarterback. Oh, you
camp hadn't started. I don't give a shit about any rumors at this point.
That shit don't mean nothing, dude.
You said who's starting?
He said camp hasn't started.
The
So
camp hasn't started. I don't care.
Gotcha. Jake.
Jameis is a quarterback. Taysom Hill is an athlete that's learning to play quarterback in the NFL. If he beats out Jameis, it's because Sean has this enamoration with, and they got a ton of money wrapped up in him as a gadget guy. But look, Jameis is the first overall pick for a reason. The dude can play. He's going to throw his picks. He's a gunslinger. But when you're talking about what he can do for that offense compared to what Drew's been doing for the last. Now, Drew did it mentally, did it pre-snap. He knew where he was going with the ball, but tools-wise, Taysom can't touch Jameis, and Drew Brees can't touch Jameis when it comes to the tools of playing the position. Can he develop that other stuff he couldn't do in 5 years in Tampa? We'll see.
Hey, Jameis, 101. I'm sure you're going to see this. Somebody's going to quote it to you. Just want to say hello. Because he's going to take that clip and he's going to use it as biblical material.
We talked about all these wide receivers
Jameis has never changed.
And all these weapons, but we forgot to mention SMB playing the Deion Sanders role on this team.
Yeah, we talked to him at the charity event. He said he's got the skills.
He came on the podcast.
He was on the show recently.
But I'm saying, and
he
said the charity event.
He can play offense, and he's ready to play offense. So we need Jake to relay the message to Pops.
We told him
SMB is waiting. Wants a reverse, wants one of those,
no. What are you talking about?
Double reverse, throw it back to Tom, touchdown.
No, yeah.
What are you talking about?
He was specific.
He said, throw me a fade, and I'm coming down with it.
That's what he said.
He's going to have to keep waiting.
Well, yeah, he did say that. He's like, man, we got too many weapons on this team. But if they throw me a fade, I'm coming down with it.
Now, there was a year in Arizona where Patrick Peterson was the best receiver on the team, and Larry was healthy.
And Larry was healthy?
Yes. Patrick was an absolute freak. He'd have been a star receiver if he wanted to switch over. And he can throw it as good as anybody you've ever seen. You're talking about a freak athlete. Patrick Peterson is one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen, top to bottom.
Didn't they have that competition?
He flipped over and was playing receiver for a few weeks, and he was ridiculous.
Didn't they have the competition in practice or after practice every day?
Yeah,
where
they
threw
with the quarterbacks every day.
Yeah.
And didn't lose all the time.
No, it was on.
All or nothing. Yeah, he can
all or
sling
nothing.
it.
Yep.
I mean, hell, he taught himself to play golf on a simulator, watching YouTube videos, and was a 10 handicap in like 8 months.
What?
Sounds like me. Wow.
Sounds kind of like me. That's what I've been doing. I'm gonna
a lot like you, Poppy.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch, bro. Watch. You and Pops, you might as well start calling me BMW, bro. The ultimate driving machine.
I don't know, man. See. BMW really means big money waste, but okay. That's just me. Hey, Jake, before we end the show, let the people out there know where they can help with the Arians Family Foundation school supply drive and backpack giveaway that you guys got coming up.
Again, AriansFamilyFoundation.com for all the information on the foundation, and then check all of our Twitter for the links that we've been putting out for the Amazon wish list to fill the backpacks with school supplies. Anything is greatly appreciated, whether it's a box of pencils, a pack of paper, whatever it is, or you want to load up a whole bag of school supplies. It's going to a kid in need. Like I said before, sometimes it's the only thing that they own. And when they got to go from group home or from home to home, it's not a trash bag they're grabbing. They're grabbing their backpack, which they're proud as hell of. And we've got them nice Nike backpacks. There's some Jan Sports on there. They're on the Amazon wish list if you want to buy more. It's just vitally important to help these kids out, to go to school on the first day with something you're proud of, and a backpack full of school supplies. It's something simple. Anybody can help. Like I said, everything helps.
And those school supplies don't cost a lot of money?
No, I mean, literally, it's a pack of paper and a box of pencils, man. That helps a ton.
I know the three of us. I know Stank, I know Latte, I know myself. We're gonna at least fill up a backpack or two from each of us. So we'll help everyone out there does the same. I'll drop the link in the comments section. I'll pin it, and then also if you follow all three of us, any of us, and Jake as well, Arians Family Foundation. We've been tweeting it, throughout the week, and we'll continue to do that leading up to the event. It's awesome cause, man.
Yeah. Before we go, hey, Latte.
If my retweet gets 200, I'm shaving the beautiful beard into a Fu Manchu. That's gonna happen on the.
Where are we at on that? I looked and we were at like 50.
We're at 60, almost 70, I think. Let's come on, let's pump those numbers up, guys.
Hey, Latte.
I'm gonna have to get the harem. I'm gonna have to get the harem on that. I'm gonna have to start making some Twitter accounts for the girls.
We need your Pops to retweet it, or the Buccaneers. So come on, Buccaneers, step it up, man.
Yeah,
Carmen, let's go.
Retweet it.
Jill, come on, Jill.
Jake. Speaking of Arians Family Foundation,
Latte.
A portion of all of our trips on Loose Cannons Travel goes to the Arians Family Foundation. Mm-hmm. Jake, are you joining us for one of these trips? I'm curious.
2, I believe.
2 of them.
Oh, wow.
I believe there will be a Halloween destination in my future.
Are you going to get belligerent with us on Halloween, sir?
Well, no. On one of those 2 trips, Jake, are we getting our asses tattooed?
Not in New Orleans. I can tell you that right. I'm not getting my ass tattooed in New Orleans, no. That's going to be a home game at the house. And I'm probably not doing it in LA either.
Hey, for those who don't know, go back and watch our draft episode. By the way, the draft prizes are coming.
They're coming, guys.
Yeah, Jake's going to be around the team. We'll be able to fulfill all those giveaways. It was a fucking amazing show. We raised a lot of money for the foundation. And me and Jake agreed to get our asses tattooed. So you might want to go back and check that episode out. It's a classic.
Those of you that have hit us up, the players, when they win or when the offseason, they scatter. So when they get together now, we'll get you all that. We got it written down, guys.
I got you. And I appreciate your patience and your support for sure.
Last tattoos and all. So Jake, you said not in LA either. That means you're joining us in LA and possibly New Orleans. So that means for those of you that are coming to LA, you're going to get to hang out with Jake and the beautiful general manager of this team, who happens to be Sammer and mine's best friend. Not Stanks. He doesn't like Stank. Doesn't
and me.
He wants to wrestle me.
He wants to cage me.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Hey, Jason Light. Hold on a second.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, no. While he's doing that, all of you who do not know, we have loosecannonstravel.com now. It's a VIP experience to 3 away games this season. We're going to LA, we're going to New Orleans on Halloween week, and we are going to Atlanta in December. And our packages include everything but the flight or the bus, however you want to get there. So just do your best to get there. We have to have you guys signed up by the end of August and paid up, or we cannot secure the specific number of spots for our booze cruises and our rooftop parties and the events that we have coming up throughout those trips. And they do include the ticket to the game. It's basically everything except a flight. Check it out, loosecannonstravel.com. You still have the option right now, if you go on there, to qualify for a 2-payment plan, or you can pay in full. The more people you put in a hotel room, the cheaper it is per person. It comes down to almost like $1,000 a head with game ticket, with food and drink on each of those nights included, and an unlimited all-you-can-eat and all-you-can-drink tailgate every one of those trips. So check it out.
Listen,
again, a portion of the proceeds do help the Arians Family Foundation at the end of the year.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm just a fan here. I'm just like, soaking it all up. I want to party with Jake Arians and fucking Jason Light on a rooftop. I'm in LA with a 360. I mean, that sounds pretty fucking amazing to me. This isn't some, we're not going to hang out pregame at Hooters or something. Rooftop LA, Jake Arians, and the general manager of this football team, possibly baby oil match against Stank Bastard. I mean, that's insane.
No, we have a special guest. We have Stanko Libre joining us. Stanko, and take us out, end the show, and send. I think you have a specific message you want to send to Jason Light.
Oh boy,
Jason Light. I don't know how to fucking wrestling voice. Jason,
what the fuck was that?
I don't know. I was gonna try to do.
I set you up. I set you up perfectly.
Give me the alley-oop, bro.
I set you up. All you had to do was dunk it, bro. What
Jason,
was that?
I'm coming for you, Jay. I was gonna do a fucking terrible Randy Macho Man. Listen, right, Jason.
Jake, take us out.
You sound like you have emphysema. What the fuck was that? What? Emphysemic former wrestler.
He has that Delta Corona shit. What the fuck's going on, bro?
Man, fuck that.
Jake, take us out, Jake, please.
Get us out of here.
Join us in LA, Atlanta, and New Orleans for a party you'll never forget. How about that one?
We're
going to have a damn blast when we whoop that ass on the road, Loose Cannons Travel Crew.
Don't forget the Arians Family Foundation, school supply, backpack giveaway. Go out there, donate. Any little item helps.